Okay, cool. Well, hey, where are you at exactly in Mexico?
We're living, it's a small city near Jalapa in the state of the Veracruz.
Okay. I hear it's beautiful down there.
Oh, it's amazing. I love it here. Yeah.
That's great. Well,
Yeah,
hey
we're
man,
from,
it's great to meet you, and you have such a interesting background of sport and healing and all of these things that go into who you are. But before we get into that, I want to ask you, how did you survive the last 3 years with COVID? How did you get through that time period, and how has it changed you?
are we in the show already? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I come from jazz radio, so I just
Okay, no, no problem, no problem.
it's all
I just
improv.
wanted, just wanted to know if it's already, if you're
Yeah.
already. How I survived the last 3 years. So, yeah, I think COVID was one of the reasons why we decided to leave. So, I mean, I was working in corporate. I'm an engineer, so I was working in engineering management and product management in the semiconductor industry for, I would say, more than 15 years. But then in the end, in the last years, I started to be more and more unhappy with my job. And I mean, I was successful and I earned money and I had responsibility, but somehow I missed like the my inner fulfillment. So I become more and more unhappy with my job. And then, yeah, we were considering for a long time what we're doing, so me and my family, and what we can do. And then during COVID, I mean, during COVID in my job, it was getting even worse because before I was traveling a lot, and then I was just sitting 2 years at home in front of the computer with Zoom meetings all day long. So I really didn't enjoy it. And also the kids didn't go to school anymore. And then, like 1.5 years ago, we just decided, okay, like, we will go for an adventure. We moved to Mexico and we traveled here like almost a year, 9 months. And yeah, we just had our car. We sold our house in Israel. So before we lived in Israel. Um, yeah, and now we're here, and that's how we how we survived. And we're
That's
really happy here now.
That's cool. And I think that's the great thing about what happened during COVID. There was a lot of self-examination, a lot of
Mhm.
reevaluating, and it sounds like you really realized it was time to shine. It was your time to do things and take care of yourself and your family.
Exactly, that's correct. And I mean, we're dealing. I mean, I wanted to do something that's really interesting me, and that's basically so I like to do sports, outdoor sports, and endurance sports, and we care a lot about our personal health. So we're living like a very healthy lifestyle. So we're eating mainly vegetables. We eat a lot of mainly organic food. We're trying now to grow our own food, and we're doing that since 20 years and always became more and more, and we also learned more about that topic. And yeah, I mean, that's something that's really interesting me, and I think I've gained a lot of experience in that, and that's what I want to help now also other people to succeed in.
So let's get to the essence of what you do for a living. If I put you in front of a bunch of third graders at a career day, and one of the kids looks up and says, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" How would you answer that child?
So I'm building right now a business. It's about coaching, and basically I help people to live healthy, right? And I mean, it sounds easy because I mean, most of the health advice is going so, okay, you need to eat vegetables, or you need to eat this, and do a little bit of exercises. And the point is, most people know that, right? I mean, we all know what's more or less healthy, but the roots why we're not acting like that are they're deeper, right? They're somewhere in our patterns and in our behaviors, and so I'm trying to do more like a change of the inner beliefs of somebody to, or of the inner values and patterns and habits, to change them, to help them to have a better life, and to sustain it also for a long period, or till the end
I,
of the life, ideally.
for sure. Well, I would think anything you do that involves coaching is going to require effort, whether it's an athlete or, lifestyle, any of that. It just takes a lot of work. I mean, it seems simple, but at the end of the day, it's really about putting the work in.
That's correct, but it's mainly the work of the people I'm coaching, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean, as a good coach, I just need to ask the right questions and hint them in the right direction. I mean, it's also kind of tricky, but it's the actual work needs to be done by the client.
Yeah, For sure. So what did you want to be in the third grade? What was your dream to grow up and become?
What was my dream? I always wanted to be sportive. So when I was a kid, I was did a lot of skiing and playing football. So I always wanted to be an athlete. Yeah, that's,
So let's go back to where you were born and raised and how these seeds got into you to become an athlete and to become a coach. How did that happen?
well, that's a long story. So, as I said, when we were kids, we grew up in Germany and in the mountains, and at this time there was snow every year. So we always went skiing into the Alps. So I really liked that, and also in the summer we went out and played football. So I think that's also something I want to give to my kids today, like that they have the possibility to play outside. I think that's what missing the kids today is that they're not enough outside, not enough running in the nature, and like playing in the dirt and getting dirty. Yeah, and from there, I think I started. I mean, we did skiing races. Yeah, and then when I was a teenager, it was a little bit less. So I had other interests. I was more with my friends and hanging out, and going to parties. And then when I was 20, I came back when I started being a student and became more responsible. So I started running, and I love nature. So I love to be in nature. I can run for hours in the nature and in the mountains, or cycle, or do anything. So I'm really connected with nature, and yeah, and I think from there I started, and I started doing competitions. And,
So you're a six-time Ironman champion, correct?
well, I'm not a champion. So I did not win the competitions yet, but I
Right.
finished them. In.
Okay, I got you. Okay, yeah. So let me ask you this. In your life of having high pursuits and a lot of energy, who's been a hero for you?
Who has been a hero? I think my biggest hero is my grandmother. She is 95 years old and she's still alive and she's still in good shape. And she lived all her life healthy, basically. She grew her food in her garden. She was working all day outside, and I think that's why he's so strong physically and also mentally. So I mean, now of course she's 95. It's becoming a little less, but she's still in a good shape.
So if you could meet anybody alive on the planet right now, who would it be?
I could meet anyone. I think Elon Musk would be quite interesting because not because I like everything that he is doing, but I think he is a person that is very ambitious and have high goals, and I think that's what's bringing the world forward, right? If you have high goals, like he's saying, okay, I want to go to Mars, so maybe it's not getting to Mars during his lifetime, but it's a big goal, and maybe he will get somewhere on the way. But still, he's making a lot of progress in that sense, right? So he's bringing forward humanity.
I agree. So what is that inspiration, motivation for you? What gets you out of bed? What gets you to accomplish what you want to get done and help your clients?
So I think that also it's a good question. I think it also changed in my last years. So I think I was always good in setting my goals and like having big goals. And for example, so okay, next year I want to finish this Ironman or something like that. Or say in the job, I wanted to have a promotion next year or something like that. That always worked for me. But a few years ago, I found out that's not enough for me. I think setting goals is great and it's important. Uh, but I believe also in the last years, it's you need to focus on the present and enjoy the moments. I dig more into spirituality and being present and meditation and this stuff. And I think that's also what you need to combine, like this, yeah, having ambitious goals, correct, but also enjoying the moment and enjoying the time with your kids, with your family, the nature, everything, like just being present there.
What's been one of the best client success stories you've had so far as a coach?
As a coach, yeah, I had one client. He really, yeah, changed his health habits, and he was really uh, like in a very bad condition, I would say. We worked together and implemented a more natural way, and it also released a lot of pain, so like let's say chronic pain that he had. So just by changing habits of nutrition, basically.
So what is it that you've done so far in your life that you're the proudest of?
What I'm the proudest of? I think I'm proudest of my two kids, that they're like teenagers now, and I think they're yeah, I'm not saying I did everything correct with them in their education, right?
Right.
There's always something to improve, but
Yeah, I get it.
no, yeah.
So as an athlete, you obviously have admired athletes. Who's one of your favorite athletes?
Just recently, I love Novak Djokovic. I
Yeah.
think he's very impressive, and he was just winning, I think, the 24th time the US Open, or Grand Slam tournament for 24 times. And I think he's a professional athlete, but he's also like as a person, as a human, he's a very impressive. Yeah, because he has his ideals and has his values and has his discipline. So I think he's a
Yeah.
very impressive figure.
So if you have a dream tonight, you run into a younger version of yourself, say in your 20s, and you could give that version of you a piece of advice based on the wisdom you've gained in your life, what would you tell your young version?
What would I tell my young version? Probably, I know this question, and it's for many people important. I never really think about it because, to be honest, I wouldn't change so much, because I think I mean, I made my mistakes for sure, and I made a lot of stupid things and bad things, but I think we learn from them. So I think it's important to make mistakes and then to gain our experience. So I don't know if I would do too much different. I mean, I enjoyed my life, and yeah, so.
Okay. So let's get to the essence of who you are. Everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, clients, colleagues, but you ultimately run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Who I think I am? Well, first of all, I'm a human, and I think all humans are unique, so I'm a unique personality. And yeah, I mean, I'm a family person. I love to be with my family, and love to be in nature. I like adventures. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So, hey, if anyone out there wants to hire you, learn more about you, anything about your life, where can they go?
I'm very active now on Twitter, so they can follow my Twitter handle. It's called The Small Reset, with a dash. And I also have a weekly newsletter where I'm writing about natural health and yeah, stuff that helps you to become more holistically healthy. And with health, I'm not talking only about like nutrition; it's also about mental health and physical health. Yeah, that's basically Twitter and the newsletter.
Excellent. Hey, this has been great. Thank you for your story. Thank you for opening up today. Best of luck with everything.
Thank you, Joe. Have a great day.
You too. And
Thanks for the conversation.
yeah, absolutely. Before you go, how do you pronounce your name correctly?
It's Ingo. It's like bingo without B.
Okay. And then the last name?
Oh, that's more difficult. Schulmeyer.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. Perfect. I just wanted to make sure. Great to meet you, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Joe. Have a
Take
great
care.
day.